where Mr. Incredible like wipes out a henchman from easily 100 yards, laser throw. Perfect rock throw. I can't find a GIF for it, which kind of bums me out. I also love how in Hobbit and Fellowship of the Ring, the hobbits can throw rocks so hard that 400-pound Uruk-hai go off their feet and die. I mean, they're pinpoint rock throwers.
That's some strength there.
I mean, you know, if you hit me with a rock, I would be very hurt or I would just drop. Do you think you could throw a rock that hard to make me fly off my feet?
No. And I'm a strong rock thrower, and I don't think I could do that.
So are we to assume that hobbits are powerful?
No, I think we're to assume they're not watching the movies, but maybe that's their one skill. Like, no, Napoleon Dynamite's got sweet computer hacking skills.
Yeah.
Maybe hobbits just have sweet rock throwing skills.
I mean, they're deadly with them.
Right?
I got a couple more in Tremors when they throw the rocks on the ground to trick the monster.
Yep.
That's smart.
That's smart.
I like Fred Ward has very good rock throwing skills. Kevin Bacon, not so much.
Okay, but Kevin Bacon's got other skills.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, 6 degrees of them. He's a 6-degree black belt.
So, remind me to come back to. I have a Kevin Bacon question for you.
Dig it. I have Amelie. She does a great job skipping stones in that nice whimsical film of hers. Shatner throws a beautiful boulder in Star Trek when he's fighting that giant lizard.
Yep.
And then there's the scene in Life of Brian by Monty Python where they're about to stone a guy for saying Jehovah. Because then they're like, blasphemy. And the guy's like, stop saying Jehovah. Then he gets rocked. And
That's
so
amazing.
then it becomes this weird thing where they don't know who to throw rocks at. And then they're actually all women, and it's only supposed to be men. And so it's a bunch of men playing women who are playing men. And then just a bunch of people get hit with rocks because they keep saying the wrong words. And it's just more of like a play on words, but rocks are used comically. So those are my favorite rock throwing moments.
Okay, so last we spoke, I talked about a movie called Blind Fury.
Yeah. I watched the trailer and it blew my mind.
So in that movie, Brendan Call is being a little jerk to Rutger Hauer, who's blind. And so he takes a rock and he says, hey, I'm sorry, I've been mean to you. Do you want a piece of candy? And so then Rutger Hauer says, well, thank you. And now he's blind. So Brendan Call gives Rutger Hauer a rock and tells him it's candy. Rutger Hauer puts it in his mouth, and then he gets into his comic mode, pretends to swallow it, and the kid starts laughing, and then he just spits the rock right between the kid's eyes.
That's great.
And it's an amazing moment.
That's a good rock spitting moment. That's probably in the top 5 of rock spitting moments.
It is great. Now, to piggyback on Rutger Hauer for a second, because again, we have the stream of consciousness thing. You talked about a good year with hits and a flop.
Yeah.
In 2005, Rutger Hauer was in both Sin City and Batman Begins.
Oh.
And also Dracula 3 Legacy as Count Dracula, and it is not a good movie at all.
So he's in 2 very good movies.
When Sin City came out, it blew my mind.
Oh yeah, I remember bought it. I bought it and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever made.
Yeah. It was so unlike anything I'd ever seen. Mm-hmm. And actually, I went and saw Sin City with my friend, and then I drove home and got my wife and then took her to go see The Late Show because I was like, you gotta see it. It's
that's awesome.
Good. Yeah. But, so.
Kevin Bacon?
Kevin Bacon. Who do you think would win in a dance sword fight match in 1987? Kevin Bacon or Patrick Swayze?
Okay. If it was a fist fight, the punch dancing of Kevin Bacon would win easily.
Right.
But, I mean, Swayze can handle a sword in his armpit and not cut himself. And he can kill people with a non-metal sword.
Right.
So I gotta give it to him.
Right. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But I would say if it was a game of chicken between the two air racers, that it would go to Kevin Bacon.
Oh, he would win for sure. Kevin Bacon would take out James Dean, too.
Oh.
We gotta do, like, the all-time greatest chicken racers.
Oh, fantastic.
I would love to see the punch dancing, though, used practically, and just use it like Ren I think Ren could deliver a punch, for sure.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, he did didn't he punch that one guy? Wasn't there a fist fight at some point in time?
I don't remember. There had to have been.
Right.
But I mean, if he did, he won. Maybe it's just
100%.
I just wasn't concerned with it because I knew what would happen.
Right. And again, I think it was, I'll punch you in this scene, and we'll be best friends in the next scene because I'll secretly teach you how to dance in your barn.
I'm gonna tell you something, Adam. If someone knew really how to dance in high school and they're like, "Hey, Mark, you want to learn how to dance?" I would have done it happily. Like I was a boxer back then too, so I wouldn't have to worry about anything. Like people making fun of me, I'd be like, "All right, let's go." I can dance in the barn or I can fight in the barn. But I totally would have been down for dance lessons.
Right. No, 100%.
I mean,
I remember I was in the musical Evita in our high school. We went huge, and we had a dance instructor come in and teach us how to dance for the chorus line. And I remember thinking, like, I can't say out loud that this is cool, but this is pretty cool.
And everyone next to you is thinking it too.
Yeah.
If one person would have done like, "This is sweet," everyone would have jumped in. Does that make sense?
That's amazing.
All right. So this is the big part. Like, we're going to finish this podcast with a bang.
You have no idea.
Like, we're just going to finish it like a sandbag shot, 15 sandbags shot from a trebuchet.
Right.
I mean, when they land, they're going to make a boom.
Oh my goodness. Are they ever going to make a boom?
So, do you want to, so we picked 8 each, right?
Yes.
All right. And then we're going to, what we can do is let's narrow it. We'll pick 8 each and then we'll pick a winning team of 8. How's that sound?
Okay. That sounds great.
All right, cool. Do you want to start us off?
Okay. So we picked out the greatest team of post-apocalyptic heroes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in my list, I stayed away from Mad Max.
Me too.
I figured he was like the quintessential one. It's almost too easy to pick him.
I agree.
Okay. So my first pick is Sam Hell from Hell Goes to Frogtown.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
So he's played by Roddy Piper, so he can handle himself. He's got a sweet little samurai sword, and he's the only fertile man left on the planet in his world. And so Sam Hell is my pick to head off my team.
He has been in some great movies. Between Hell Goes to Frogtown and They Live, Roddy Piper has been in some pretty good movies.
He's pretty fantastic. I have a DVD of Hell Goes to Frogtown, and when you put it in, the menu comes up, and it says Strat Movie. They spelled start wrong. So it's got a special place in my heart of just like, they are trying so hard. But the female lead in that movie was the same girl who played Valeria in Conan the Barbarian.
Oh.
So she kind of has this. And Rory Calhoun's in that movie. It's something else.
All right, so if you pick this movie, don't tell me. But when you said Strat, that reminded me of Cyborg, right? Because aren't the characters in Cyborg named after instruments?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. But I love that I got my post-apocalyptic movies mixed up. So you're going to see a weird, except for one, you're going to see a weird, what's the word? There's like a weird, I picked apocalyptic movies with lots of sand. So that's the common denominator.
Yep.
So my first one is Nick Preston, which is Dolph Lundgren, and it's in The Last Warrior, one of his direct-to-DVD movies.
Okay.
And in this movie, he plays a Air Force captain who is avoiding a plague in California where your skin becomes boiled.
Ooh, that's gross.
And it's a very boring movie.
Okay.
But it's just Dolph Lundgren surrounded by sand in a post-apocalyptic movie, so I added it.
So it's good. It's good to go in.
Yeah, I had to.
Okay. So for my second pick, this is one of my post-apocalyptic ones that isn't sand-based. But I went for Snake Plissken.
Oh, you know what? He got kicked out for a person I'm going to say later.
Okay. But when I say there was no like superhero movies when we were kids, Escape from New York was as close as you could get.
I have a theory about Escape from LA.
Talk to me.
So in this movie, he surfs, he hang glides, he rides a motorcycle, he's in a submarine, he plays basketball.
He does.
I feel like Triple X and these movies ripped him off. I mean, this is a guy who can hang glide for several minutes 30 feet from the ground. That's impressive.
No, I would defend you in court on that.
He completed the first ever post-apocalyptic, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But so, like,
Okay.
Postapocalyptic Olympics. And there's like a 5-event thing.
Oh, yeah, no. I always thought a great TV show would be the Walmart Olympics, where you go to the parking lot of Walmart and you just stop 2 random people. And you say, okay, first one to get me 25 carts, go. Or first one to carry 30. Like, just all parking lot Walmart-based Olympic stuff, and the winner gets a Walmart gift card.
And you set up a track and have 2 Geo Metros race around?
Exactly. Walmart Olympics. I think it'd be huge.
All right, so next, I got, this is going to be a weird one, but Arlen from The Bad Batch. I don't know if you've seen this movie. I
haven't.
Suki Waterhouse. She is this character who gets put in there because she just did something wrong, and she gets picked up by these cannibals who eat her arm and leg. Jason Momoa is one of the cannibals. So she immediately gets her arm and leg done. She gets a cool leg. She gets an arm, and she just goes around surviving. She meets up with a shady Keanu Reeves. But I'm just saying, any woman who has her arm...
I've heard of this movie.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. So any woman
watch it tonight.
Who can get her arm and leg eaten, and then to gain a sweet leg, and then just cruise around the desert with Jason Momoa and annoy Keanu Reeves. I mean, that's a survivor right there. You know, we have Sam Hell, we have Nick Preston, we have Snake Plissken. I mean, well, Plissken lost an eye, but that was before anything. This woman,
that was back in Cleveland.
She loses a leg and an arm to cannibals, and she still does a good job.
That's fantastic.
That's respect right there. So
Absolutely.
I got her in that, The Bad Batch. Who you got next?
So this one, maybe a little left of center, and maybe he won't make the cut. And I'm okay with that. But I put the Postman in.
He's a good wrestler.
But I think Kevin Costner's Postman character would be a vital asset to our final team because we need to communicate with other tribes.
Yeah.
So I think this guy's desire in a post-apocalyptic world to, like, let's be honest, he stole mail to survive.
Yep.
And then he just went with it.
I mean, he found his niche.
He found his thing.
And then he became a leader.
That's what I see. I see leadership potential in him. And again, I see his willingness to do what it takes to survive, even be something as lame as deliver mail.
And he's a wrestler. They have a wrestling match at the end.
Yes, they do.
I love it.
He's fueled by the pain that came from eating his own donkey.
Oh. All right. So next for me is Eden Sinclair from a movie called Doomsday. I don't know if you've seen Doomsday.
I have.
Okay. Directed by the guy who did The Descent, and it's just Rona Mitra going through. There's not much desert. There's sand, but she's kind of just battling these really Mad Max-ass type people and kicking butt. So I appreciate it. I think of all of these characters that we're looking at right now, well, Arlen, but see, Arlen got her leg and arm ripped off, and then she kind of like sauntered around for a while. This movie in Doomsday, she's chased for 2 hours.
Oh,
so you want someone who can survive a 2-hour chase.
Well, this is the thing. You want to have a team that's going to make the team stronger.
Yeah.
Right? And someone who survives like that's going to get the job done.
There's no weakness there with her.
No.
Got it. All right, who you got?
Next I have Eli from the Book of Eli.
Oh man. How did I not add that?
Right?
How did I not do it?
That movie is a trip to watch. Like it's exhausting because it's so intense. And like the fact that he's a blind Denzel Washington in the desert with 2 huge knives and a gun just like going to town. You need to have him on your team.
He's a first drafter.
He's a first drafter, 100%.
I can't believe I didn't even think about it. I was trying to go obscure and I kind of forgot about the main ones.
Yeah, no, I kind of went more mainstream than I'd like to normally, but there's just some people you couldn't ignore.
So my next one is Malcolm Beach. and that's Morgan Freeman from Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.